All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem, B'Kakadash, Barakatham to the elders and apostles, Wa'akim, Wa'akwaf, and I say Shalom, and Heavenly Father, true name is Yahweh, and His unbegotten Son, Ba'Hashem, in the name of Mashiach Shai. Those are the true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, the Lashwan Kadash Tongue. And I say Barakatham once again to the elders and apostles, Wa'akim, Wa'akwaf, and I say Shalom. And this is a news article from the from CNN.com, published by John Talfracki from CNN. Last updated at 2:12 p.m. Wednesday, May the 21st, 2025, and it reads, it says stocks and bonds fall as a concern of rise of America's status as a safe place to invest. It says stocks and bonds, because I believe the markets had went down, I say like 200 points yesterday as well too. So now it's falling once again, because I believe earlier today it went down like 690 points. Now currently right now it's at 358 if I'm not mistaken, because you know I believe the Wall Street stock closed at around about 3 o'clock, because it's 209 over here Central Time. So the stocks market's going to close at around about 3 o'clock, Eastern time. It says, I just want to add a side note to that. It says the S&P 500 of, it says the S&P 500 on Wednesday fell for the second day in a row. It says stocks and bonds and the dollar fell on Wednesday as the concern mounts about the primary status of American assets. It says the Dow Jones of 690 points, or 0.62%. The broader the broader S&P 500 slid 1.25%, and the tech-heavy Nasdaq Composite fell 1%. The stocks moved sharply lower, and bond yields sold off after a 1 p.m. Eastern Time auction for a 20-year Treasury notes was disappointing, according to the CHP. Hugo Lee, management director for fixed income at the Trust Advisory Service, meant to say, while the 20-year Treasury noted usually garnish less than attentions that the 10-year or the 30-year note, all the eyes have been investors' precipitation of Treasury since moods on Fridays downgraded the U.S. government debt. It says the U.S. Treasury sold $16 billion over 20-year bonds in the auction settled with a 20-year Treasury yield above 5%, signaling investors are demanding higher rates to hold the U.S. debt. And the auction settled with a high yield of a 5.047% compares to 4.83% at the last 20-year auction in February. It says the Treasury yield has pushed higher in recent days after the Moody's announced Friday, while they stripped the United States of its last perfect credit rating. It says the bond prices and yields trade its opposite direction. The yield on the 10-year Treasury noted on Wednesday rose above 4.59% to the highest level since February, and the yield of the 30-year Treasury rose above 5% at the highest level since 2023. Although the Moody's decision to downgrade to the U.S. sovereign credit rating on Friday from the AAA to AA1 was unsurprising. It was thus adding focus on the real issue at hand, the U.S. growing deficit and debt burden. Hughley said, if I pronounce his name right, it says stocks were lower Wednesday morning as Republicans in Congress tried to advance a President Donald Trump big beauty tax bill. U.S. stocks are coming off a season in the red. The S&P 500 On Tuesday, Snap a 6-day winning streak. The recent budget deliberations in Washington are not offering a global investors as much a solace that these challenges are being incorporated into the decision-making process. Hercules has said the U.S. dollar index would measure the dollar strengthening against the six major foreign currency slid 0.6%. And this is a developing story and will be updated. Let's see, bring up the Revelations, the 18th chapter. And this is the book of Revelations. Yep, Revelations 18 verse 2. And they cried mighty with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, is fallen. It has become a habitation of deceivers, and they hold every foul spirit in a cage, every unclean HATEFL bird. Revelations 18 verse 3. For all the nations have drunk wine, wrath for fornication, and the kings of the earth had committed fornication for, and the mercies of the earth are waxed rich the abundance of the delicacies. This is Jeremiah. This is Jeremiah chapter 51. Oh, that's verse 45. Jeremiah 51 and verse 7. It says, Babylon has been a golden cup at Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunk for wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. Jeremiah 51 verse 8. Babylon is still fallen, destroyed. How for her take bond for her pain, and so that she may be healed. Jeremiah 51 verse 9. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, let us go at once to his own country, for our judgment reach the heavens and slip up into the skies. And so with that, hopefully this sit down lesson was edifying, because we had the markets was down for the past 2 days, and it was down yesterday, I believe, like 100, 150 plus, like 150 plus points was in the negatives for the Dow Jones and the S&P 500, and the Nasdaq Composite was all down yesterday, and they are down once again. Because earlier today it was down, I would say 850 points, then 600 points. Now it's down. Let's check it right now, because I believe it's down like 600 points, 300 points right now at the moment. Because you know the markets close around about 3 o'clock Eastern time. It is 2:15 Central time, like I mentioned before. So as it says again, the May the 21st, 2025, from CNN.com, and it reads again, stocks and bonds fall as concerns rising over American status as a safe place to invest. So with that, hopefully this sit down lesson was edifying. And with that, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Bakar Kadash, and the Heavenly Father. True name is Yahweh, and his only begotten Son, Ba'Hashem, named Mashiach Kavashai. Those are their true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, the Lashon Kodash tongue. I say Barakatham to the elders and apostles, Wa'akim, Wa'akwaf. Until next time, I would say Shalom.